Hey, Namaste bitches. It's Teresa Giudice, and I'm here with my co-host, Melissa Pfeister.
What's up? I'm so happy that you start because then I get to just keep jamming to the music a little longer.
I see
And shimmy,
that.
shimmy, 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 shimmy. What's up, Namaste bitches? What's up, Teresa?
Hi, honey. How are you?
Happy to see you.
Happy to see you too. How's
What's shaking over
Logan
there?
feeling? How's
Oh my
Logan?
gosh. You guys, let me just tell you.
I know,
You know
because I
how we
was
all
in
talk about.
LA and I couldn't even see her. Really upset
Oh
about
my
that.
God. So, you know how we joke about like, oh, sharts, it's so funny. Like, I hope you don't shart your pants. And we always like joke and people like sling it around like it's funny. Let me tell you when it's not funny. When your kid for 5 days, literally all he does is shart. So for
Yeah,
five
I don't
days,
think my kids ever did that, and I have 4 of them.
sharted, like they went
Yeah.
to fart and shit came out.
I mean, if they did it, they never told me, and I guess they just took I've never had that. Yeah. I mean, that's like I think I would go crazy for 5 days.
I mean, it was, do you know how much underwear and freaking shorts and pants I had to go through? Because you can't just do one layer. Because if he's like sitting on the couch, you don't want that
Yeah,
shit
no,
literally.
now thinking about it, I never had to go through that, not thank God. I
Oh
mean,
my
I'm just saying, like,
gosh.
I never had to go through that, yeah.
5 days.
Anytime
You're-
my kids ever got sick, just the throat, strep throat, that was it.
oh my God. My
Antibiotics, 5 days, they're fine.
dude, no. Everything. Every little thing. Logan would be like, Mom, I just fart at the beginning. Mom, I just farted. And I'm like, oh my God. And then he would like waddle. Like you could tell he's like clenching his butt cheeks, but you want to feel like the shart. And then his
Did you
underwear,
give them rice, like, to constipate them?
everything, bananas, rice, bread, like you freaking name it. And then it'd be to the point where I'm like, Logan, if you feel you have to fart, you run to the bathroom immediately. Like, we have to stop this madness. I've gone through like 10 pairs of underwear and shorts. Like, this is insane. So then you could see him like all of a sudden just like kind of, you know how he's like trying to clench his butt and he's like trying to run. And then he'd sit down and he'd be like, Mom, I made it. And then he would be so happy and proud of himself. But like now, sharting is not, I used to say it all the time, like as a joke. Babe, I hope you don't shart your pants during your meeting or whatever. Now, it's not funny because I just had 5 days of nonstop sharts. So that was welcome to my world.
Yeah,
Merry
no.
Christmas.
Well,
So I know, and I'm so bummed that I missed you when you were here in LA. This was not expected at all, and it's just like, and you know, when they're sick, like Logan could give 2 shits about me. He loves Josh. Like that's who he wants to be around. Vivi wants to be around me, not Josh. Logan could give 2 shits about me. I
oh,
keep
really? Because I usually heard the boys are attached to the moms and
well,
the and the and the girls are attached to the dads.
yeah, I think that'll be true later. Right now, I'm just like annoying, and I'm just a person that says I love you too much and wants to kiss him too much.
No,
So
that usually happens later on in life.
I'm
They're like, "Get
hoping,
away, get away."
yeah, I'm hoping it'll
I don't
switch
know.
at some point.
Uh, I
But
have
when
girls.
Logan's like, "Mom, I miss you," or like, "Mom, can we cuddle?" I'm like, "Oh shit, he's really sick." Because no way would he ever, normally feeling well, want to be even in the same room as me.
Really?
So yeah, it was a lot of cuddling and a lot of sharting and a lot of like butt butt cheeks clenching to make it to the toilet in time. So there was my day. How was your trip to LA?
It was good. I had, it was so much fun. It was great. It was an honor being honored by Variety and being in a room with other powerful women.
So
And what
awesome.
do you know? They sat me right
I
next to Tamra.
I mean, you knew that was gonna happen, right?
No, I didn't know. No, not at all. No, I did. First of all, I didn't even know what to expect. Like it was so beautiful. Like it was a sit down dinner. I didn't know that it was going to be like that. Like I didn't know. I thought it was just going to be like a cocktail party. Like usually that's when you go to these events, it is. But it was really beautiful. Yeah, it was beautiful.
So how was it with Tamara? You guys kissed and made up?
She came up to me and she's like, "I know you don't like me. I'm going to make you like me." And I'm like, I'm like, "I don't have a problem with you." I'm like, "I've never had a problem with you." I'm like, "You're the one who talks about me." I'm like, "I don't like." Yeah, I'm like, "I don't like. I don't." And I said, and the only reason why we talked about her is because like you're like she just talked about us, and then you got me going. Otherwise, I don't care. I don't care to talk about her.
So then was Louis there with
She
you?
did say she loves you. She did say she loved you.
Well,
She's
duh.
like,
I
"I
mean,
love Melissa." So I'm like, if she loves you that much, then why would we even talk about her? You know what I mean?
well, I don't even know why we were talking about her.
Because I don't know, you said she talked about us on her podcast. And then but whatever, we ended up taking it down anyway, so which was good. Be
About BravoCon stuff. I gotcha.
Yeah, and I'm
Okay, I'm
glad we
following.
ended up taking it down anyway, because like, that's the thing, like, especially with like, look, I just got powerful women. Like, I wanna lift other women up. Like, I don't
Yeah.
wanna knock any other woman down. That's not a powerful woman. That's like, I'm not about that. So, no, her husband was there. Her husband seat was right next to Louis' seat, right across. We were sitting across from our spouses, whoever brought spouses,
So was that
so
was
say it again?
how was that then, Louis and Eddie?
They talked. They wouldn't shut up. Like the two of them were talking the whole night. When then Tamara was like, "Look at them." I'm like, "Yeah, you see." I'm like, you know, like, yeah. I'm like, they were talking the whole time. So we had
So
to tell them to like
everybody's good
stop
now.
talking.
Oh my gosh, the little boys
Yeah, we
chit-chatting
had to
in the
tell them to
corner.
stop talking.
Was there anyone
I
else
mean,
there
I
that you
never had a problem with Eddie either. Like I always thought he was like a nice guy. So I don't know. I have no idea. Like I guess people just talk about other people. I have no idea why. I guess it's just mind-boggling to me. But yeah, all good. We took a picture. Variety posted it. I don't know if that was like posted on their Instagram, but it was a beautiful night.
Oh, I
Mm.
saw that you and Tamara even did a little collab of pictures together. I mean, you guys are
Well,
really
she did. Yeah, she
banding.
did, and I accepted. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cute, you 2. I
Yeah.
saw Heather Gay there too. How was that?
She was sitting right next to me on the other side of me.
Had you
She
met
was
her?
so funny. I'm glad we got to talk a little bit more because I saw her at BravoCon, but we really didn't talk. She laughed at like other people, like because there was panels. They called up people to for panels. They called up certain women to go up on the panel. And Heather was cracking up over certain things that some of the women were saying. And she was laughing so hard, like right next to me. She kept saying, "Sorry." I'm like, "No, it's okay." Like I love laughter. Laughter is a good thing. It's
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Yeah. So she was really sweet. And she even said, I saw her the next night at Craig's. She's like, "You and Louis were so sweet. Louis was so sweet to my daughter." She's like, "You guys are awesome." And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, listen, we're on Bravo family together. I'm like, I would never want to say anything negative about anyone. Like, I guess except for people on my show. No, I'm only
Yeah,
kidding.
except for my cast. But other than that,
No, except for anyone that comes from me. I mean, that's obviously everyone would be the same way. Everybody would be that way. Like, no, like obviously if someone comes for you, then you're gonna respond. But
yes.
otherwise, I'm not gonna be the first one to go after someone.
Did Heather give you any good juicy Real Housewives of Salt Lake City tea?
Yes, she did. But yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, it's not a secret. She doesn't like. Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, she even said to Tamara, "Please don't repeat anything we're talking about." So,
Then she must have given you guys some good
yeah,
tea.
so I'm not gonna repeat anything, and vice versa with Tamara too. Like, we were all talking. I'm like, let's see if this is gonna be on two T's in a pod.
Oh, yeah, because I saw Heather McDonald was saying stuff that, like, Tamara's and Teddy are, like, they're breaking up their podcast and, like, someone is replacing Teddy and all that stuff, and I guess it was false rumors that Heather put out there.
Oh, so they're not splitting up. Okay. I
No.
mean, why would they split up if it's doing well?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense at
Yeah.
all. But it was out there, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, and Tamara was up there for her podcast doing well, like for for having a successful podcast.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. So,
Well, I'm happy
talking
that you
shit about people.
yeah, well, that's what most are, baby. That's what most are.
Well, you know what? And that's what sells, unfortunately. Like all unfortunately, drama sells, you know? I mean, like,
AKA the Housewives. Look at you guys. Look at all the
e
franchises.
exactly. No, I mean, people don't wanna see, I guess, happiness. I don't know, you
No,
know? I
they
guess
wanna
happiness
see
is boring, you know?
yes,
But,
they wanna
like,
see the craziness. They wanna watch it. Like, I used to watch it just to be like, "Wow, I'm crazy, but that shit is really crazy." Or just
yeah.
like background. It's just like it's, like I'm sure like any program, whether it's Bravo or anything, I think it's mostly just like an escape for people that it just takes them out of they're busy with their kids or their whatever. They just want to escape.
Yeah, and, I guess and if you really look at our lives, it's really other people are going they're going through similar situations that we're going through.
Totally.
So they're like, "Oh my god, wow." Like they could relate to us.
Right.
So they're like, "Oh
Totally.
my god, she's going through the same thing I'm going through, and let's see how she handles it." And yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people watch it for that also, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's something relatable.
Oh, totally relatable. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's why it's called the Real Housewives, and they're all the Real Housewives of blah blah.
Speaking of relatable, so I finally get to escape. I think it was the first time in like 6 days I had left the house over the weekend. And I'm like, "Josh, you're on it. Go. I need to be outside of this house. I need a breath. I'm going to go insane." So music is like an escape for me. The slow love songs can get me in that like sad, lovey mood. The fun hype songs freaking hype me up, and I feel like I could run through a wall. Music, it just is very meaningful to me.
Yeah.
And so I get in my car, and like first thing I do, it's like we're blasting the tunes, we're blasting it, right? And then, do you remember that song, "Love Bites"? I think it's Def Leppard. I mean, I'm way outdating myself
Oh
right
my
now.
god, I never really listened to Def Leppard.
But I know you've heard of it.
I'm sure
Love
I have.
bites, love heals. It's bringing me to my knees.
Okay, I mean, not really. I don't think I really heard that song. Yeah, I mean, Def Leppard really wasn't my jam.
Well,
I
but
mean
you know of them.
I
They
mean
were like big in the 80s,
oh, yeah,
90s.
I know the group, yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
Love Bites comes on, okay?
okay,
I'm blasting it. Windows down. I'm at a stoplight, and all of a sudden a car honks. And I
okay,
look over out to my right over the passenger side, and
okay.
it's this guy, and you could tell he's like a like a rock star guy. Like he has like the
Yeah,
bandana
and he
on.
liked it?
Yeah, and he has like the sleeves are like ripped off, and he's in his like cool like rock star car, and I hear the honk, and I look over, and he's like this. He's like, "Yeah, Def Leppard," and it was hysterical. And Love Bites is more of like a romantic, sexy song, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I wasn't like headbanging or anything, but it was so funny because he was like jamming to it next to me in the car. So we just had this like Love Bites Def Leppard moment. It was
Oh
pretty
my god, how
sweet.
cute.
And then we went and we boned in the bathroom. No, we didn't.
Oh,
I
I
don't.
was like, "What?" Oh my
You
god,
thought
Josh is gonna kick your ass.
oh, my sweet Teresa. So you guys also too, um, before we got into our fun talk, and I totally forgot, Teresa, that you guys need to stay tuned to the end of the podcast because we have a new fun way for everyone to get involved and be on the podcast. So you guys don't forget, okay? Stay tuned. New fun way to be a part of the podcast. And Teresa and I will tell you about it
Yeah.
at the end.
Uh,
Because it's like so fun having these guests on.
yeah, no, I love having the guests on.
I want to have everybody on.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? Have you ever watched Vampire Diaries?
No. Oh yeah, you went to no, but I've heard it's incredible. How was the show?
I have to watch it now because I met some of the cast. After LA, I went to Atlanta, and then I went to the first when I got there Friday late afternoon. My flight was delayed, so I missed the convention the first day, and I went to Candy's restaurant. So I met Milania there. Milania, she brought her
Okay.
best friend and Jennifer Aiden, and she brought her two daughters. And we went to the Vampire Diaries convention. So now I'm a big fan. So now I have to watch it. I'm going to
Now
start
you have to watch.
watching it.
Is this still on?
No, it's not
Yeah, I
on.
thought it was done.
So it was like their BravoCon, but in Atlanta.
For just Vampire Diaries.
Yes, just Vampire Diaries, and there was like 2,000 people there. It
What?
reminded me of my first BravoCon because I think our first BravoCon was around that amount. I think, yeah. So,
Was it
so
crazy?
there was a lot of people there, but I guess like that's the perks of being on this side. Being a celebrity like them. Like they ended up giving us the VI treatment, which was awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
So we had our own trailer, and every time like they made time for us to go in, like they would stop the line and then we would go in and take our pictures with
Oh my
them.
God, I was just like BravoCon.
Yes, just like that. It was like, but we had the VIP treatment. Like they would stop it, yeah, like and for us to go in, but then the fans wouldn't see them stopping the line for us. Some of them saw, not all.
Is Milania a Vampire Diaries? Why did we choose this? Is Milania a fan?
Oh my God, yes.
She loves the
Melania.
show.
Well, Gabriella got Melania into Vampire Diaries, and Gabriella wanted to come, but she couldn't because she's at school. And
Right.
then Adriana only likes Damon Salvador.
Is that a cast member?
He's one of the cast members, yeah, but he's gonna be in the one in Chicago on March 22nd. So
Oh, for the
now guess
live show.
no, there's gonna be another convention. So guess who's going to that one now?
You're going to another Vampire Diaries
Yes,
convention.
because Melania, oh
Aren't
my
you
God.
conventioned out at this point?
Like Melissa, I was so like let me tell you. I've never been a bitch. I've never been a bitch. Like anytime anybody asks me to take a picture, I always say yes.
Yes.
I like I was exhausted and I wasn't even waiting on those lines and I was
I
exhausted.
know.
So it's like, I mean, I'm not like that anyway, but like I have more like even beyond, like if anybody ever asks to take a picture, I never say no because if it wasn't for the fans, we wouldn't be here,
Right.
So and same
Totally.
thing like with our podcast, with everything, that's
Right.
what makes yeah. So it was I was tired. By the end of the weekend, I was like, wow. I'm like it was tiring just being like a fan. Yeah, like being there. And I
Right.
wouldn't even have to wait on the lines, but Melania had so much fun. Melania was like,
Oh,
she's like, Mommy, this is the best day of my life. I'm so happy. Like she was happy all 3 days. And then like everything. She was just in her glory. She like loved it. I mean, that's so now I see how the fans how much they love us when I was at, BravoCon and everything. And it's like, yeah. I mean, it was
you
just
get it.
yeah, like Melania was fanning over like the Vampire Diary, you know, actresses and actors, and she was like freaking out. And then some of them wanted to meet me also, which was like I felt honored. And yeah,
Did
it
you
was really
know
cute.
had you ever seen it? Did you know anything about the
No,
show?
I've never
Nothing.
seen it, but I'm gonna watch it now. I'm gonna
Okay,
watch it.
got it.
Yeah, because
But
some of
no,
them were
but
a fan of mine. So I was like, I have to watch it.
but that's why it's always we always say like thank you to our fans. That's why I respond to everybody on DM because it's like, it is. We are here for them and we are
Yeah.
doing this for them.
Yeah, and I want to try to watch everything too. Like the thing is when the kids were little, I didn't have the time because
Right.
like I was very a hands-on mommy and like I just didn't have the time to watch TV. But now I have the time. So like now I want to watch everything. So if I get asked a question, I know what someone's talking about. So
So how do they do that? If it's a TV show.
you could still go back and watch it. It's on Netflix. Oh, it's on Netflix
No,
and
yeah, I mean, I know how to go back and watch a TV show.
yeah.
I'm saying, like,
What do you mean?
if there's a TV show and it's ended, how do they make that into a theater, like a play? Like,
Um,
is it the whole series into one play, or is it like do they make up their own things, but it's like the same characters?
like, what do you mean a play? This was a convention. It was like
I thought you were going to see it was like a show though too.
no, 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 no. It was like
You
just like
just were
Bravo.
going for convention?
Oh yeah, it was like they were on a panel. People were asking them questions. Then you would take pictures with them, and then autographs.
Oh, so it's the BravoCon.
It was just like BravoCon, but for Vampire Diaries.
OMG. Okay, now
And
I'm
it was 3 days of it. I was like, oh my God.
See, now you see why all those people that went to BravoCon waiting in lines for out. Remember that sweet
yeah,
guy?
well,
Oh my God,
that's
I
why
wish.
I'm like, but like I never say no. But like, first of all, it's exhausting on both sides.
For
Like it's
sure.
exhausting for the celebrity and it's exhausting for the fans because it's a lot. You
Right.
know, it really is. I mean, it's a lot. First of all, 3 days. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe fans don't buy tickets to every single day.
Yeah, right.
They because it's and then it gets really to be really expensive also, or maybe they do. I don't know. I mean, I worked for 3 days for BravoCon, but I know I was like exhausted after because you're always on,
You have
and
to
it's
be
like
on. That's it. That's it. You have to be
yeah,
on.
so it is draining. But same thing for the fans. Like, but let me just tell you, I was like wiped out after Vampire Diaries this weekend. But I'm definitely a fan, so I can't wait to start watching it now.
That's how everybody feels. I felt like everyone I talked to after BravoCon, whether it was like like someone who just went or someone that was actually in BravoCon, like a Bravo Lab, I feel like everybody needed like a week break because it was just like recuperation,
Yeah, afterwards you just need to, rest up and
recharge.
yeah, it was good because I remember I went to something afterwards and they kept asking me, "Are you fine? Are you good? Are you over bro?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I rested. I'm good."
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, remember that sweet guy? I forget his name. I wish I had it now on the top of my head. He was in line for over an hour on the crutches. Do you remember that?
He was. Oh yes, yes.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
come to the front of the like, I wish
Oh
we had
yeah. I mean,
seen.
anybody in wheelchairs, crutches, yeah, come to the front of the line, of
Oh
course.
my gosh. I mean, these people
Yeah.
were just so amazing. I mean, literally sitting on crutches
Or
waiting in line for
wheelchairs,
an hour.
like definitely
Oh,
come to the front of the line.
well, see, now you have seen both sides of these conventions, and they're both tiring and exhausting and madness.
Yeah, it was a lot. But I did it with Milania and she was so happy to see her. Like she was so happy. She was like, oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah, like she's like, oh my God, the best day of my life. I was like, okay. She's so adorable.
I'm happy that you guys got to do that together to share that
Yeah,
time.
and even her best friend was so grateful. And then we went to the houses where these people lived.
No way.
We had private tours of the homes.
Wow, you guys really did it.
Oh, no, you understand, we did it all. We did it.
Holy.
We went to Mystic Falls, like, where they ate. We went to Scoops, the ice cream place. We did it all. Like, there's not one thing we didn't do. Yeah.
Melania was in heaven.
Yeah, and then we went to, like, great restaurants like, at night. Like, we went to Candy's restaurant, Blaze,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Friday
yeah.
night, and then it was karaoke night. It was, like, so much fun. And then Saturday went to Nobu. So that was a
Yummy.
beautiful restaurant. Yeah, so that was it. But like once I hit the pillow list, I was done.
You're out.
Oh my
Oh,
God, I was so
Teresa,
out.
Nobu? Do you know
Yes.
that was our first dinner?
Yes, in Malibu. Yes. That's
No,
what I was
in,
saying.
Manhattan Beach in
Oh,
New
in
York.
Manhattan. Right, right, right. But I'm sorry, I've gone to Nobu in Malibu also.
There was one up here in Malibu.
Is that
Yeah,
close to you where you live now?
like 45 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. We should go there one time.
Yeah, it's
I love it there.
delicious.
Yeah, I've been there.
It's funny because remember how Pat came on, our producer came on,
Yeah.
our podcast or our last episode, and he was talking about adopting his 2 kids and all that stuff. It's crazy how it's so awesome to see all the people that listen to our podcast, because then I'll get messages about them, especially like stuff that's so relatable when we talk about these topics that are so relatable. And I always get messages about people moms like having troubles like getting pregnant and like this and that. And so Pat's kind of tied into that. And I got so many messages, Pat. I know you're listening, obviously, but so many were like, I'm so happy that Pat told that story. Just like they say about us when we tell something that was maybe
Yeah.
difficult for us, but they're like, thank you so much. It's very relatable. So many messages. I actually got to send them to you, Pat. So many messages that were like, that was so touching. What a great guy. What a great life he gave his 2 kids.
Yeah.
And like, then it kind of went back to, this was so relatable. I don't know what to do because like I just am not able to get pregnant. And then they kind of go into, it kind of all goes into each other. They were talking about like miscarriages and this and that. And I just like, I'm really happy that Pat did that because it's such a real life thing for people. And it's such a struggle when, Pat didn't share why he ended up adopting. I don't know if it's because like they just wanted to adopt or, his wife at the time couldn't have children. But we just got so many amazing messages from everybody about it and like uplifting and how Pat's story uplifted them. And like if they couldn't have kids, it made them feel better about maybe the thing that, that they had to adopt themselves. And then of course it goes back to like, because I can't get pregnant, I've had X amount of miscarriages and all this stuff. And, I know we talked about it, but I obviously didn't bring it up because it was just like another kind of punch in the gut for me. That I had another miscarriage during BravoCon. And again, like BravoCon's been weeks from now anyway. And it's just like I'm reading these messages and I'm kind of like going through it again in my head mentally, like going back to dealing with it again. And why does this keep happening? I mean, this is
But you
like
know
my,
what? Let me just tell you, like, sometimes that's like you gotta, I know it's upsetting, but sometimes it's just like, there's a reason why. And like, you should just like really accept it. Cause if sometimes like if it's not happening, Melissa, like you shouldn't force it, like, and like maybe you should adopt, like what Pat did,
yeah,
because maybe there's a reason why. I'm just saying sometimes don't push it. Like my one girlfriend, let me just tell you, my one friend, she's a Christian, like born again Christian. I went to high school with her. I'm very close to her, and um, she wanted to have kids. She just never got pregnant. And
yeah.
she's been married to her husband for like, now 20 something years.
Wow.
And she just never got pregnant. And I said to her, you could do, in vitro, IVF. And she's like, no. She's like, I'm not doing that. She's like, if God wants me to have a baby, I will get pregnant. If it's in my cards for that to happen, she's like, I'm not going to force it. And I just never looked at it that way. I was like, you know what? You're kind of, because sometimes when you do that, there could be complications with that, or things happen because of that. I see a lot of that, like from people doing IVF. Then there's other stuff that happens with the baby or something. So, sometimes no, maybe sometimes
Yeah.
everything is like perfect. But there are, I'm sure there's risks. I never, I mean, look at me. I did IVF sort of too, to try to have a boy, and I didn't even get pregnant. And I could have did it again. And I was just like, I'm not doing it again. Cause I kind of got mad at Joe too for putting my body through that. Cause
Wait,
it was like,
oh, because you did egg retrieval,
yeah, we were trying to have a boy,
right?
and it didn't happen. Like, and
Yeah.
I tried it once. And the thing is like, I've never gotten trouble getting pregnant. So
Yeah.
to do IVF and like, and to try, like, they took my eggs, they took Joe's sperm, they put it together, made an embryo. They put 3 embryos inside of me, and I didn't even get pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what happened? It says Google. I didn't even get pregnant. So, and it cost so much money. And
It's
I was just like, and it
expensive.
wasn't meant, I'm like, this was not meant to be, So, and I could have did it again, but my body went through a lot doing that.
It's hard.
I didn't like the way I felt, it was not a good feeling. And that's it. I did it one time and I never did it again. So, and I took that was a sign from God. So then I'm like, I said, we're just doing it the regular way, like
Right.
just
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
normal old fashioned way. Let's have sex. And if I get pregnant, and I did, and I had Adriana, which I'm so thankful that I had Adriana, like, like every time I see her, I'm like, Daddy wanted to have a boy. I'm so happy I had you. I always have to like, because she's like the sweetest thing ever. Like, and like I couldn't wait to get home. I missed her so much because I missed her so much. I'm like, I have to get home to see her. I left Tuesday and I got home last night.
Yeah, it's a
And I
long
couldn't
week.
wait to hug her and like
Yeah.
I'm like, I miss you. And she's so sweet. And she's such a good, so sweet little girl. She really is. Like so, and I'm like, I always say thank you, God, for sending her. And that was just the way it was supposed to happen. Like I guess I wasn't supposed to have a boy.
Yeah. Well, I think too with your friend, like you said that it's Catholic. Catholics are like you do it the
Well,
quote
no, she was Christian. She was a Christian, born again
right. Well,
Christian.
you still though then believe like God does it. But the thing is, like some people, I view it, but that's a different. Like I don't think that way, right?
Yeah,
I
no, listen, and I don't think that way either. If you do it, like Paris Hilton just had a baby. I just saw it on
yeah,
Instagram.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
that she like didn't tell her mom about it. And she introduced her baby to her mom. That's your grandson. I was just like, I got teary eyed. It was so like so sweet. But I don't, I guess she used her egg. I don't know. Do you know if she used her eggs?
I don't know. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
assuming yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, but like, it takes a toll on your body because you have to give yourself shots. I
Well,
remember I had to.
pregnancy in general does, but then yeah, the
No,
hormones and all this.
no. Now I've gotten pregnant normal, and I've had regular, like regular. I didn't have
Vaginal births.
vaginal birth, right? I didn't have no C sections, and
Right.
I'm just saying, compared to IVF and in
Oh, no,
vitro,
it's
it's
a
like
lot.
that's like your body goes through a lot. It's like a lot. I
Well,
just
that's
like.
why people who get pregnant naturally are, like, beyond lucky and blessed, like,
No, I know,
because
and I that's what I said, because if you can't have a kid, by all means try in vitro. Yeah, because I mean, listen, and then I am a believer too that then God would have never created that, right?
right, right,
Because
totally.
right, I mean, that was created. There was doctors created to do that. That was created for a reason,
To help.
So yes, to
Right.
help exactly,
Well,
because maybe your egg doesn't go through the fallopian tubes and all that, like it just doesn't push through. So I'm a believer in both,
yeah,
and
it's
also what Pat did, adopting. That's like, I mean, of course, if you can't have kids, that's a beautiful thing because then you're giving children a life that
right.
they wouldn't have.
Totally. Well, and I think and again, it's like your beliefs. What do your beliefs say that you have to do it the quote natural way? Um, I don't I don't agree with forcing things either, whatever it is. Like forcing a relationship, forcing like sex. Like Josh and I did that. When we were going through IVF, you're on so many hormones. You only have X amount of days, X amount of times to do it. It was like a forced sex thing because you're like on the clock. Um, so I don't believe in forcing things either, but I also believe in getting help and help anyway. We were just talking about this last podcast. Like if you feel like you need help or assistance or you're struggling with something, like there's nothing wrong with asking for help. And I think whether it's, IUIs, whether it's IVFs, whether it's a surrogate, whether it's like there's ways to get help. And we're so fortunate nowadays that you can
Yeah,
get
no, I mean, look
help.
at Andy Cohen. I love his 2 babies, like,
Right,
I
totally.
mean, it's a beautiful thing. No, it really is. And like, all right, for instance, and this is another thing for women out there that are trying to get pregnant. Don't think about it. I remember me and my boss, like when I was working and I just had gotten pregnant with Gia. She went through IVF like, oh my God, I would say 3 times.
Yeah,
And every time she would not get pregnant. It used to break my heart. And then here I am pregnant and
I
she's
know.
going through it, and I felt so bad. Finally, I think on her third time, either her third or fourth time, it worked.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. Like after I left, because I left and I gave birth, and then she ended up getting pregnant, which I was so happy for her.
Oh.
Yeah, and then so guess what? So the first one the first one she did in vitro. Second one she did in vitro. Guess how many she had?
2.
3.
No, please.
Yeah, she
Ay,
had
ay, ay.
1, then she had 3.
Oy,
I still talk to her now. And then guess what happened?
she got pregnant naturally.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
Hmm.
She got pregnant naturally because she wasn't even thinking about it. And it wasn't like, oh, I gotta get pregnant. I gotta
I
get
know,
pregnant.
but that's so much easier said than done because when you want something, you are gonna think about it, especially
No,
something like a
I know.
kid.
It's like so crazy. Your mind is so
Of
powerful.
course.
Like if you could try not to think about it, because you have to just be very relaxed to get pregnant.
Yeah,
That's what
well,
they say.
that's not easy. When you want something and you're having difficulties, when you want it and you're having miscarriages, if you're going through IVF and you're like a raging lunatic because you're on so many hormones, and you're paying a lot of money, it's
Yeah.
hard not to, of course, they say don't stress, relax, but like when you're shooting shit in your like stomach 3 times a
Uh,
day and you're a raging lunatic, I was crying over like Trident commercials. Like it's hard not
Wait, so
to
you
think
did
about it.
IVF with both your kids?
No, they said I couldn't get pregnant naturally. I did 4 IUIs and like pregnant, not pregnant, nothing ever stuck. And then 2 rounds of IVF, pregnant, not pregnant. And then that's when we went to Hawaii because we were like, fuck, this is too hard. This is too much. We need a break. Went to Hawaii, came back, and I was pregnant naturally with Logan.
See?
As I
Okay.
was supposed to start the 3rd round of IVF. But then Vivi came like this. Like I said sex and she came. So now, though, it's been a few years. And more recently, I'm like, okay, I'm getting older. Like, I think it's now it's kind of like shitting off the pot. And I want another one. And I just like keep having this miscarriages. And then I didn't know, but I was pregnant at BravoCon. And in the middle, the second day of BravoCon on Saturday, I went to the bathroom and I'm not going to get into disgusting details, but it was like a mess. And like, I know, listen, I've had enough miscarriages where I know what's happening and I
Yeah.
know how I'm
No,
feeling.
sorry about that. Yeah, no,
No,
no.
it just, I
No, I
wasn't
mean,
even going to
I
say,
know about it because you told me.
yeah, I like, and I wasn't going to say anything, but then Pat talking about it and then these
Yeah, no, it's
messages.
your story to tell, obviously.
Yeah, it just like, but all these messages that I've been getting DM, it's like talking about it again. Like that was such a touching story. Like, I don't know if we should do it because we keep having miscarriages, like all these things. And it just made me I was just been thinking a lot this last week about it because I've been reading these messages and it's kind of take me back to BravoCon and this last miscarriage that I had. And like you said, I didn't do anything nearly like you did, but just being at our booth, like you have to be on, right? Like excited, you're meeting everybody, like the energy. And it's like, I felt like shit. Like it was like a long weekend. I'm having this miscarriage. Josh isn't there. I was by myself and it was tough. Like it was hard and it sucked. Cause I'm like, fuck, this is like my 3rd miscarriage in how many months? 6 months? So it's just been like these messages, as much I love it. Like I love it. I want to hear everybody's story because this is why we do talk about it. It just brought me back
Yeah.
to there.
I
And
mean, even my mom, she said trying to have me for 2 years, she tried to have me, trying to get pregnant, and she wasn't getting pregnant. And then they decide to move from Italy to America, and she moves from Italy to America, and then all of a sudden her clothes are tight on her. She goes to the doctors. I think she was either 3 or 4 months pregnant with
that's
me.
crazy.
Yeah, and
You just wanted an American baby.
yeah, and she said so she started me out in Italy, but I ended up being born in America. But for 2 years she kept having miscarriages.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
so
rough.
it's very common. But then look, then she was not thinking about it, and like moving from Italy to America, and then she got pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the time. It just, it sucks. But like, luckily, we are in a time in a world where there are so many options.
There is there, and let me say another thing because for the listeners, when I was trying to have Gabriella, but again, I wanted to get pregnant, and I was thinking about it so much, it wasn't happening. I was
Yeah.
like, really? I was like, why? I'm like, I mean, with Gia, like it happened. With Gia, I just said whatever happens, happen. I think it took like 6 months because I really didn't. I didn't know when I was ovulating. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like you have to know when you're ovulating. I didn't know when I was ovulating. So, but if you know when you're ovulating, then that's when you obviously that's when you get pregnant. So I didn't know. So anyway, I went to the doctor. The doctor gave me Clomid. Am I
Right.
saying it right?
Yeah.
And
Clomid
that
to get your eggs
releases
going.
that
Yeah.
releases your eggs. So if anyone's out there trying to get pregnant,
That's like their
maybe
first step, right? It's like
yes.
the steps, right?
So
Until
they
you get
gave
that.
me that and
Yeah.
I got pregnant. Yeah. So and
Yeah.
but with Clomid, you could have twins too.
You just
So
needed a jump start.
yeah, so thank God.
That was your jump
And
start.
then Melania was quick, like because they're 16 months apart. And then Adriana, same thing. You guys,
Yeah.
everybody knows my story now.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Like, you're so lucky that you got 4 beautiful girls naturally. But again, like, then you talk to people like Pat, and they have this story and the life that he gave his 2 kids, and
Yeah,
but
I think
any way you slice it, it's hard.
If I couldn't get pregnant and if I tried IVF and it didn't work, I think I would adopt because there's so many
I know.
babies out there that need homes, I
I
really
know.
would.
I'm just not giving up right now. I'm just like, that was a big punch to the face. The BravoCon miscarriage, but I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to throw in the towel yet. But, this is why we also talk about this stuff. It's like, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. We did multiple episodes. I wasn't talking about it. And then Pat came on, and then I got more messages. And I was like we've always said, what the fuck are we doing this for if we can't talk about our stories, whether it's amazing or whether it's really tough? Because again, back to like what we were talking about, it's about being relatable. Like,
Yeah,
how many
no,
people listening?
and hopefully we helped someone out there listening and we gave them some insight or like, oh my God, let me look into this or let me look into
Right.
that.
And more so, you guys just know that we are here for you. I mean, between Teresa and I and everything we've been through, we kind of like, cover the spread. So we're here. Like, I love your messages. We love hearing for you. I mean, this is also what prompts us to having other conversations. Like, Teresa, by them, I wasn't going to say anything because I was like, it sucks talking about it. It was so shitty that weekend to relive it. Then you have to go get a dress on. My stomach was all weird. Actually, some people even said, because some of my dresses, there's like a little, I mean, if you're like looking, like I wouldn't have ever noticed it, but if you're looking, you can tell there's like a little, and it wasn't the baby. It was just like my stomach was all bloated and crazy stuff was happening from it.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
then you're like, okay, don't worry about what just happened in the bathroom. Like, we're on. Like, let's say hi to everybody. So it's like, I didn't want to talk about it, but like, because of you guys bring things out of us to hopefully talk about that can hopefully be of help. Whether it's like us giving insight of things to do or just saying, like, you're not alone. Teresa and I have, like I said, we cover the spread of all the shit that we've been through, good or bad. So we're here to help and to be there for you. And I think that's the reason why we're doing this. So, we just appreciate everything as always. We love all your love, your support, your messages. And, look, you guys just messaging us got us into this whole conversation that I didn't even think that we were going to ever have. So it's good. It's good. Oh, and
Yeah.
Teresa,
Yes.
because for 2-minute bitches, it's like, how can we get more people on? Like, there's so many. We're so blessed and thankful that so many want to be on 2-minute bitches. So, like, what do you think about this idea? We have people record on their phone a question for you and I,
Okay.
and then we have the video and we can play it. So they're still on. It's not live, like it's not a live chat, but there's still actually their video is playing. People
Oh, I
can see the
love that.
video.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
then we can answer.
Yeah, I love that.
That's cool, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
especially now because the holidays are coming, it's gonna be like really tough, like getting people on and stuff. So yeah, that's great.
Right. Okay. So you guys, if you want to be on the pod with us, like we've been having guests, but for us to be able to like kind of have more, do us a favor. Take a video on your iPhone asking us a question and then DM it to me and I'll start saving all the videos. And then every episode we'll play the videos and then Teresa and I will answer.
Yeah,
How's
love
that?
that. Yeah,
Good.
love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys, any question that you have for the Namaste bitches, take on your iPhone, DM me at Melissa Pfeister. And Namaste bitches is at Namaste bitches pod. Teresa, where can they all find you?
At Teresa Giudice.
So DM me your video. I'll save them all. And then I'll let you know if we're going to play yours on the next episode. So you can be on a lookout for it. We'll play your video. Everyone will be able to see you. And then Teresa and I will answer your amazing question. So I'm excited about this. It could be cool.
Yeah,
Like,
I love that. Yeah.
getting more people on.
Yes.
So you guys, I mean, thank you for sending in your videos. Thank you for sending your messages, your love, your support.
Yeah, thank you, Melissa, for sharing your story with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks to Pat, who started this conversation going, because
he's amazing.
I'm like, what the hell? Pat can get there and tell his story. I don't have the balls to like say my miscarriage again. Like, come on, Melissa, get your shit together. So thank you, everyone. All of us working together just makes everything better. So thank you guys as always for listening, tuning in every single Wednesday. We just can't tell you how much we love and support, or we love you for all your support and for sticking with us and listening every single Wednesday. So that was a good one, Teresa. Not what I was expecting, and I'm happy we did it.
No, it was amazing. Yeah, it was great.
All right, guys, listen, we will see you next Wednesday.
Yes. Take care, guys. Love, love, love.
I knew it. Another Hurrdat Media production.